Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. Today we're going to be talking about 10 thriller movies that are based on a true story. Now if you guys are new to the channel, be sure to like and subscribe with post notifications on, and let's go into the video, starting with number 10, GoodFellas. This story follows Henry Hill and his life in the mob, covering his relationship with his wife Karen Hill and his mob partners Jimmy Conway and Tommy DeVito in the Italian-American crime syndicate. This 1990s classic crime film, directed by Martin Scorsese, shows the rise and the fall of a mafioso and his network in Italian-American Brooklyn. Viewers of the film, however, are left with plenty of reasons why a life in the mob might not be so quite desirable. This movie was based on the 1985 book called Wise Guy: Life in a Mafia Family by crime reporter Nicholas Pileggi. He detailed the real life of Henry Hill and his associates Thomas DeSimone and James "Jimmy" Burke. Their characters inspired those played by Joe Pesci and Robert De Niro in the movie, which featured the real 1978 Lufthansa heist at JFK Airport. Either way, it is a great movie to watch, but not a movie you would like to live in. Number 9, Mule. This movie shows a story of a 90-year-old Korean War veteran that turns into a drug mule for a Mexican cartel. The film Mule is based on the true story of Leo Sharp, which was chronicled in the New York Times by Sam Dolnick. This film was written by Nick Schenk, who also scripted Gran Torino. Here, Sharp has been renamed Earl Stone, but his story is essentially the same. The main character is broke, alone, and facing foreclosure on his business. Because of the need for the money, he will start working for the Mexican cartel. His immediate success will be very profitable, but in the end, it would be a cat and mouse chase between him and the DAA agents. Number 8, 1917. It's April 6, 1917. As a regiment assembles to wage war deep in enemy territory, two soldiers are assigned to race against time and deliver a message that will stop thousands of men from walking straight into a deadly trap. 1917 is something of a true story, loosely based on the tale of the director's grandfather, to which he said, "I hope very much that the stories of those that came before us and fought on our behalf live on in our movie." Alfred Mendez was a man of small stature, and so was chosen to be a messenger on the Western Front due to the relative nimbleness his slight frame allowed. He was awarded the Military Medal after he volunteered for a dangerous mission to locate injured soldiers scattered across no man's land during the World War II. Number 7, The Conjuring. This movie follows two paranormal investigators, Ed and Lorraine Warren, who work to help a family that is terrorized by a dark presence in their farmhouse. Now, Ed and Lorraine were actually really paranormal experts in the United States that investigated a lot of high-profile cases. Lorraine has always claimed to be a clairvoyant and medium able to communicate with the spirits and demons she and her husband came in contact with. To this day, although Ed died in 2006, Lorraine maintains that almost every detail of The Conjuring is accurate. She was a major consultant on the first film, as well as the subsequent sequels and prequels. The things that went on there were just so incredibly frightening, she told USA Today. It still affects me to talk about it today. Number 6, An American Crime. Gertrude Banisevsky, a divorced mother of several children, agrees to take care of two girls, Sylvia and Jenny, while their parents travel with a carnival. Though her eldest daughter is the real troublemaker, Gertrude vents all her bitterness and frustration on innocent Sylvia. Gertrude imprisons the girl in the basement and tortures her, eventually encouraging her children to follow suit. The film is based on a true story of the torture and murder of Sylvia Likens by Indianapolis single mother Gertrude Banishevsky. Number 5, Imitation Game. This movie is set during the World War II, when the English mathematical genius Alan Turing tries to crack the German Enigma code with help from fellow mathematicians. Though The Imitation Game was largely based on the biography Alan Turing, The Enigma, much of Alan Turing's life is shrouded in mystery. He cracked codes produced by the German military's seemingly unbreakable Enigma machine during World War II using math, engineering, and still-to-be-invented computer science. But most of the documents tracing his work for the British government has been destroyed, and little is known about Turing's personal life. Turing, played by Benedict Cumberbatch in the film, is credited as father of computer science. Number 4. Extremely wicked, shockingly evil, and vile. This is a chronicle movie of the crimes of Ted Bundy, from the perspective of his longtime girlfriend who refused to believe the truth about him for years. As for Ted Bundy, we don't want to go into detail of his doings, but we will focus more on the book that was written by his ex-girlfriend at the time, Elizabeth Kendall, that this movie is based on. Elizabeth was a 24-year-old single mom when she met Bundy during a night out, drinking in Seattle with a friend in October 1969. The book details their years of dating, including Bundy's emotionally abusive behavior, and eventually the clues that he was involved in a string of unsolved kidnappings and murders. The couple has been in a serious relationship for nearly 4 years when Elizabeth first saw a police sketch of a suspect named Ted who looked like her Ted. Number 3. Hannibal. Perhaps even scarier than the fictional Hannibal Lecter was the fact that the writer based his creepy character on an actual person. No one knew that Dr. Hannibal Lecter was based on a real-life doctor. This is not until 2013 when the 25th anniversary edition of The Silence of the Lambs was released. Harris updated the instruction to the book, finally revealing that Hannibal Lecter was based on an actual doctor in Mexico. He was based on Alfredo Trevino, who was convicted of murdering and then chopping up his gay lover. After serving 20 years in prison, the real-life Hannibal Lecter inspiration was released in 2000. Amazingly, once he was a free man, Trevino continued his medical practice, providing medical care to the poor until he died in 2009. Number 2. Dunkirk. This movie follows a period when Allied soldiers from Belgium, the British Empire, and France are surrounded by the German army and evacuated during a fierce battle in World War II. In May 1940, Germany advanced into France, trapping Allied troops on the beaches of Dunkirk. Under air and ground cover from British and French forces, troops were slowly and methodically evacuated from the beach using every serviceable naval and civilian vessel that could be found. This movie, even though fictional, used real-life events and stories as the inspiration for the movie. Number 1. Zodiac. In the late 1960s and early 1970s, a San Francisco cartoonist becomes an amateur detective, obsessed with tracking down the Zodiac killer, an unknown individual who terrorizes North California with a killing spree. The residents of Northern California found themselves plagued by the threat of the mysterious Zodiac killer. The unknown murderer killed 5 people, injured 2 others, and claimed to have 37 victims to his name. What made the story all the more terrifying was the fact that the killer sent taunting letters and cards to the local press, often though cryptograms that remained unsolved to this day. Close to 50 years later, and the true identity of the real-life Zodiac killer remains one of the great unsolved mysteries of American crime. Zodiac is one of the most accurate true crime movies ever made, as the filmmakers compiled a huge reports on the crimes of the Zodiac killer, so they can tell a story as close as to the real-life events. Now, we hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel with post notifications on, and we will see you all in the next one. Bye bye.